Hi VC, it's Aaron with Alamer. Today I'm finishing my top 100 records of the 1980s that are basically like pop rock style records. Some of them are hard rock, what I consider hard rock, which a lot of people just consider classic rock now. So these are my favorite 25 from the 80s that I own on record. So if there's some on here that you're saying, where's that record? I might not own it. That's why it's not on the list. This is just, when I did this list, it took me a few months to compile it. I went back and re-listened to all these records, which was a chore, and it really made me, rethink everything. Except for the top 25 was pretty much set in stone. Most of these are records that I've loved since they've come out, and I've listened to them hundreds of times. There's a couple that snuck in that I discovered later on in life, but most of these are just absolutely stone cold classics that I've loved since they were out. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching this series. This is the top 25, and at number 25 I have John Cougar Mellencamp with Scarecrow, arguably his best record. I love this album. Of course, it starts with Rain on a Scarecrow. That's such a good song. Lonely All Night is on here. Rumble Seat, ROCK in the USA, Small Town. What a great album. Really, he really was just at the top of his game on that record. Number 24, and I still have my original cassette of this one. Loved it when it came out. I've always loved it. This is Synchronicity from the Police, and it's just an awesome record. One of my very favorite Police songs, if not my favorite, is on here, which is Synchronicity 2. I've always loved that song. Synchronicity is really good too. Of course, Every Breath You Take is on here. King of Pain, Wrapped Around Your Finger. But I love stuff like Miss Gradenko and Walking in Your Footsteps. Great album from the Police. They're most commercially successful, and it's a great record. And this one here happens to be one of the translucent. I don't know if you're able to see it, but actually when you look at this, hold this up to a light, it's a translucent, which a lot of these Police Synchronicity records, kind of check yours out if you have it and see. It was a discovery I made later on when I was going through. It was pretty cool. So at number 23 I've got Crowded House, and this album I didn't really listen to a lot in the 80s, but the last 20 years I've really gotten into this record. I love this album. It's just it's a great album by the Australian band, or they might be from New Zealand. But Don't Dream It's Over is a great song. Something So Strong. But this whole album is really good. This is the best Crowded House record. Their debut, amazing record at 23. At 22, here's another one I discovered later on, thanks to my stepfather, Ron Lewis. And he gave me this record, and I fell in love with it. And it's one of my favorite records of the 80s now. And it's at 22. It is The Nails with Dangerous Dreams. This is very unique, kind of artsy, kind of think, it has almost like a Lou Reed quality at times, but I like this better. The song Dig Myself a Hole is so good. Love that. This is just a great album. Dangerous Dream, Voices, Things You Left Behind is just amazing. If you check out one song, check out that one, Things You Left Behind. The Nails with Dangerous Dreams, awesome record. And number 21, this has always been one of my very favorite records. At the time this came out, this artist was my favorite. There's about a year where he is my favorite artist. This is Great Kin with Citizen Kin. And this album is really underrated. It's not the Great Kin band at this point, it's just him. And it's got a little more of a keyboard flavor, but the songs are so good on this. I'm in Love Again, how it starts is awesome. The song Go Back. Lucky was a semi-hit off this. That's a really good song. They Rock by Night, I love that one. Temper, Temper. But the best and most the secret weapon of this song is the song Whenever. One of the best unknown ballads of the 80s. And it's just a really unique song. It's not sappy. It's just a really good, slower song. If you don't know it, check out the song Whenever from Greg Kihn. One of my all-time favorite Greg Kihn songs. And this is an awesome record there. And number 20. And this album I was addicted to when it came out. This is ZZ Top Afterburner. Kind of an underrated record by them. It's a little bit more keyboardish at times, but it's got a lot of really rockin' stuff. Sleeping Bag is such a good song, and then Stages, that's how it starts. Rough Boy was a pretty good hit. Can't Stop Rockin's great. Velcro Fly, another great one. But my favorite song on here, and it has one of the best Billy Gibbons riffs ever, is Woke Up With Wood. Just listen to the riff on that song. It's just amazing. It has a lot of energy. Love this album, Afterburner. Saw them on tour for that. It was my third concert, and it was amazing. So up at 19, another all-time classic, Billy Idol with Rebel Yell. And I remember my dad listening to this late at night. He'd have a few beers and just crank this up, and it's a great record. Of course, the title song is amazing. Eyes Without a Face, one of the best songs he ever did. Flesh for Fantasy, of course. Just a Blue Highway. I love this album. And Steve Stevens on guitar. They were an awesome duo in the 80s. And number 18, my favorite album by this band, and this is one of my all-time favorite records. This is Cargo from Men at Work. I think this is slightly better than their debut. Overkill is my favorite Men at Work song. I absolutely love that song. Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive is killer. It's a Mistake, of course. No Signs of Yesterday. Settle Down, My Boy. Wow, I love this record. And this is the best sounding copy I've ever heard of this. This Japanese master sound. Wow, it sounds, I've never heard it sound better than on that vinyl record. Awesome. Number 17, and this is probably the last one of the ones I discovered later on, and this is New Adventures, a Danish band. I love this band. Really harder edge power pop band, and I love them. Come On is a great song. Space Lab Cowboy, they do a really cool version of You Can't Do That, the Beatles song on here. Genie Dance. There's a high energy rockin' band, just bordering on hard rock. Really good stuff here. New Adventures. Number 16, one of the most underrated and artists of the 80s that gets a lot of flack from a lot of people, but I love this artist and I love this record. This is Picture This from Huey Lewis and the News, their second album, and this is arguably their best. I think there's one slightly better that might be coming up, but this one is so good. It has the huge hits, Working for a Living and Do You Believe in Love, which are awesome songs, but a lot of the other songs on here are just as good or better. Like Chains of Heart is one of my favorite Huey Lewis songs. Tell Me a Little Lie. Whatever Happened to True Love. The Only One is so good. I love this album. If you don't know this one and you like Huey Lewis at all, check Picture This out. Amazing album. Okay, at number 16, and this is a super group which I've always loved. I just love this record, The Power Station. And this has Robert Palmer on vocals and two members of Duran Duran, Andy and John Taylor on the bass and guitar, and then Tony Thompson from the band Chic on the drums. And the drums really stand out on this album. They're just so good. There's Tony Thompson here. He's an amazing drummer. Just killer stuff. Get It On, Bang a Gong, of course. The remake of that is on here. Some Like It Hot was a monster hit. But stuff like Lonely Tonight and Murderous is just amazing. Harvest for the World, I know some people think that's the best song on here. Just awesome, awesome album. I've always loved this album, Power Station. I still listen to it quite a bit. At number 14, this album was really unique when it came out. Always loved it. Play Deep from the Outfield. Of course, it has the monstrous hit Your Love on it, but the deep tracks on this are really good too. Say It Isn't So, how it starts is an awesome song. Every Time You Cry, All the Love in the World, Mystery Man. What a great album from the Outfield, Play Deep. My favorite album by them, but they have a couple others that are really good too. Number 13. This album gets a lot of grief from some people, but I think it's amazing. Signs of Life from Billy Squier. And Rock Me Tonight, you know, you can say what you want about the video, but that song is so good. It's one of my very favorite Billy Squier songs. I love Rock Me Tonight. All Night Long is on here. That's an amazing song. Eye on You, those are the first three. Take a Look Behind You and Reach for the Sky, awesome songs. 1984, Can't Get Next to You is on here. What an awesome album from Billy Squier. Love that one. Okay, at number 12, probably my second favorite by this artist, and I love this artist, Against the Wind from Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. I absolutely love this record. I grew up listening to it. Her Strut is one of the most rocking songs he ever did. I absolutely love the guitar riff on that. Horizontal Bop, how it starts off is killer. You'll Accompany Me is killer. Every song on this is great. Against the Wind, the title song, amazing. But the highlight to me on this is Fire Lake. It has those great vocals, backing vocals from Don Henley and Glenn Frey on it. They make that song, they just take it to another level. What a great album. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band with Against the Wind. Absolutely love it. Number 11, my favorite album by this artist. This is Duran Duran with Seven and the Ragged Tiger. And I've always loved this album. The Reflex, New Moon on Monday, But my favorite's Union of the Snake. I love that song. All the deep cuts are good on here. Yeah, Tiger's cool even. Love this album, Duran Duran. Okay, up to the top 10 now. And starting out at number 10. And I remember my mom actually bought me this cassette for Easter one year, and I was so happy. Overplayed it. Huey Lewis and the News with Sports. What a great album. Of course, it starts out with the Heart of Rock and Roll. It's got Heart and Soul on here. I Want a New Drug. If This Is It. But all the deep cuts are good on it. Just a solid album all the way through. I love this album from Huey Lewis and the News. Just amazing. And this Japanese copy sounds great. So Huey Lewis at number 10. Number 9. My favorite album by this band, and this is the debut from Loverboy. I think this is a masterpiece of an album. Absolutely love it. The Kid Is Hot Tonight. Love that song. Turn Me Loose, probably my favorite song by Loverboy. I love that one. Lady of the 80's is an awesome song. Prissy Prissy, really cool. Teenage Overdose. Oh, I love that one. What a great album from Loverboy. Their debut at number 9. Number 8. Now, this is my favorite album by this artist, even though a lot of people like the previous one better, but this is from John Cougar Mellencamp. Man, I listened to this so much when it came out. I love this album. Of course, it starts out with Crumbling Down, and what else? It's hard to see with these Japanese. I got to take it out here. I know it's got Crumbling Down, how it starts. I know that. Oh, yeah, Pink Houses, the Authority song. But the best part of this are the deep cuts, especially on side 2. Now, on side 1, it also has Warmer Place to Sleep, which is awesome. Side 2 starts out with this really different song called Jackie O. But the second half of side 2, the second part of it, is the most rockin' stuff he ever did. The songs Play Guitar, Serious Business, and Lovin' Mother Foya. Those are like hard rock songs. I absolutely love them. And then the last song is the hidden gem on here, Golden Gates. The best slow song he ever did, I think. Absolutely love Golden Gates. And this album is so underrated. A lot of people just pass it by, but I think it's a masterpiece. Love it. And that is at number 8. At number 7, here's another one that I've loved since it's been released. And this album took me by storm when it came out. I couldn't get enough of it. John Fogerty with Center Field. Old Man Down the Road is as good as any Creedence song, in my opinion. I love that song. Of course, Rock and Roll Girls is on here, the title song. The deep cuts are great too, like Vance Can't Dance. I love that one. Searchlight, that's so good. Mr. Grieve, hard rock and stuff here. Love this album. Centerfield. And number 6. Now this one here is probably the biggest surprise on here, but this is one of my all-time favorite records. The Hooters, or just Hooters with Nervous Night. This album is so overlooked in the 80s pantheon of music. Absolutely love this album. Starts off with And We Danced, Day by Day, and All You Zombies right in a row. And All You Zombies, I heard that on the radio when I was living in Portland. That's when this came out. I was living there for a year. And I was like, this is so different. You didn't hear anything like that on the radio. And it became a pretty big hit. But I absolutely love All You Zombies. Bought this cassette the next day after I heard it and have not stopped listening to it. Don't Take My Car Out Tonight, one of the best songs on the record. Where Do the Children Go? The ballad with Patti Smythe is amazing and overlooked as a power ballad from the 80s. So good. South Ferry Road, Blood from a Stone. This album is so solid all the way through. I absolutely love it. That's my number 6. Number 5. Most people's favorite by this band, or a lot of people's, but this is just an absolute masterpiece. Ghost in the Machine from the Police is my number 5. Of course, Spirits in the Material World. Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. What great songs, but it's just so good. Invisible Sun. That song is one of the very best Police songs. Demolition Man is on here. I love that one. Rehumanize Yourself. Omega Man. What a great album and a very just unique Police record. I love that one. Number 4. My favorite album by this artist. It's his second album. A lot of people think it's his debut, but it's actually his second. This is Don't Say No from Billy Squier. I absolutely love this record. The Dark is my favorite Billy Squier song. Love that song. It's got The Stroke on here, My Kind of Lover. It's just a masterpiece of 80s pop, rock, hard rock, whatever you want to call it, perfection. Lonely as a Night is on here. Just every song is good on this. What a great record. Don't Say No from Billy Squier. Number 3, my favorite album by this artist, and he's one of my favorite artists ever, Rock and Roll from Greg Kihn Band. Love this album. It is so good. Has his biggest hit, which is the breakup song, which is absolutely a great song. Womankind is so good. Can't Stop Hurting Myself. Trouble in Paradise. What a great first side. When the Music Starts, my favorite song on the record. That's on side 2. Nothing Gonna Change. The Girl Most Likely. Awesome album from the Greg Kihn Band at number 3. Number 2, my favorite album by this band, and this is so good. Love this album. This is Zenyatta Mandata from the Police. I like it slightly better than Ghost in the Machine, but it's really close. They're both absolute masterpieces of albums. This one has Don't Stand So Close to Me, Do-Do-Do-Do, Da-Da-Da-Da. But I love stuff like When the World is Running Down, You Make the Best of What's Still Around. Love that song. Canary in a Coal Mine. I love the instrumental Behind My Camel. Man, just every song. Voices Inside My Head. That's so good. Wow, Bombs Away. Love that one too. Shadows in the Rain, which he redid on Dream of the Blue Turtle. That's an awesome song. Just, Man in a Suitcase. I can't get enough of this album. It's always been my favorite since the 80s by the Police, and it always will be. It's just, I love it. And at number 1, this album, of all these albums, I've played more than any of them in my lifetime. This album I've played so much, and I still listen to it, and it's amazing. ZZ Top with Eliminator. Of course, Give Me All Your Love and Sharp Dressed Man. TV Dinners. What a great song that is. Got Me Under Pressure. This album, even though they introduced some key and synth into it, it's the heaviest sounding record they ever did. Stuff like I Got the Six and Bad Girl are so heavy. Love those songs. Legs, I forgot to even mention Legs. And Thug is so different. I love Thug. Dirty Dog, If I Could Only Flag Her Down. Every song is great on this. Not even a mediocre song at all. Amazing masterpiece of an album from ZZ Top at number 1. So, just to recap, ZZ Top Eliminator, number 1. The Police, Zenyatta Mandata, number 2. Rock and Roll from the Greg Kihn Band, number 3. Don't Say No from Billy Squier, number 4. Ghost in the Machine from the Police, 5. Nervous Night from the Hooters, 6. John Fogerty with Center Field, 7. John Cougar Mellencamp, 8. Loverboy debut, 9. Huey Lewis and the News, Sports, number 10. 7 and the Ragged Tiger from Duran Duran, 11. Against the Wind from Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, 12. Signs of Life from Billy Squier, 13. Play Deep from The Outfield, 14. The Power Station, 15. Picture This from Huey Lewis and the News. That is 16. New Adventures, 17. Cargo from Men at Work, 18. Rebel Yell from Billy Idol, 19. Afterburner from ZZ Top, number 20. Citizen Ken from Greg Kihn, 21. Dangerous Dreams from the Nails, 22. Crowded House, 23. Synchronicity from the Police, 24. And number 25 is Scarecrow from John Cougar Mellencamp. All right, everybody, this has been a fun series to do. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.